Coming to you from a poorly ventilated bedroom in Calgary, Alberta, this is The Bog Radio, heavy music from the west side of the true north. Today we got mostly an Alberta day here on episode 1, but we also have some guys out from Saskatchewan and also a band from Vancouver, British Columbia. So without any further overture, we have some death metal from Morley, Alberta, fresh from the release of their Disease Called Humans EP. This is Dethgod with Like Flies to Flesh. Dethgod shows are always really high energy. First the music kicks you in the face, and then the guy next to you does. So, it's a good time for everyone involved. The Native American origin of the members also appear to play a really big role in the band's aesthetic. Like the guitarists and the bassists, whenever I see them, they paint their faces up. They put war paint on their face, and that I mean, visual aspects in bands, that's really important. And I've seen a couple videos that they've put up, not of shows, but like promo videos. Like a promo I saw for this EP in particular had some historical pictures pertaining to like the history of natives in Canada, like some residential school stuff. And that was a really good, hard-hitting video. I enjoyed that quite a bit. The guitarist, Blaine, he's also a friend of mine. He's a really nice dude, really, really supportive of other musicians in the scene. It's great. I would actually love to have him on the show going forward to talk about himself, talk about Dethgod, talk about the scene where he's from, because the guy's real outspoken. I can see that from his social media posts, so I bet he would have some interesting stuff to say. One thing that they did also that I thought was neat is their merch is kind of a little bit different. When I bought a shirt from them, and the shirt that I got was long sleeve. It's really nice quality, and long sleeve is a little unusual for bands. Everyone wants their t-shirts, but they also gave me a fridge magnet of the shirt design, and I thought that was really cool. And I wish more bands had fridge magnets, because that would make my fridge look a lot more interesting rather than just the random, souvenir shop kind of magnets I got on there already. So next up for you guys, I got some black metal from Vancouver, British Columbia, from their album The Howl, The Whisper, The Hunt. This is Svneatr with Crimson Star. when I first heard about Svneatr, it was in 2018, around November, when my own band went up to Edmonton to play Black Morning Light, and like their music is interesting. Like it's more groovy than like other black metal or like the black metal that I play, which is really blasty. But the bassist was using a fretless bass, and I thought that was really interesting. So I asked him about it, and he told me that he's also a trained cellist, and he had to rush back to Vancouver immediately after Black Morning Light to play in an orchestra. And I thought that was really cool, because you don't see that kind of cross-genre activity too often, do you? I also saw that they played at a Canucks game or something like that, and if they're listening to this podcast, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing pictures on Facebook of the individual of the members of that band on the Jumbotron at a hockey arena, and I was like, what a bizarre place for a black metal band to be, a hockey game. Makes me wonder what like the crossover of hockey fans and black metal fans are. I mean like there's ice involved and snow and whatnot. It's part of the whole aesthetic, grim even, right? Also some violence on both sides, you know. That Black Morning Light show in Edmonton, actually, it was really a really nice time, because I remember going there, and the only Edmonton band on the bill dropped out. And you know how sometimes some of these shows go where like the only band that people would know is gone, and so people don't want to come out to the show. But there were 4 out-of-town bands. There was us, there was Svneatr, there was King's Rot from Calgary, and also Hammer Drone from Calgary, and it was a great show, and the bar was packed, and I was surprised, because everyone keeps telling me that Edmonton is a great time. So if you're listening to this from Edmonton, good job. You're my friend automatically. Speaking of Edmonton and friends, here's some good boys up from Edmonton. This is Misery Tomb, crossover punk, Cursed Images, off their Enter the Tomb album.
I don't know where I've been. There's a knocking at my door. I don't fly, can't do this anymore. Every
first way I actually noticed Misery Tomb was their social media persona. Is they comment on like everything. Even if it's just like a couple like knife emojis or a skull or the little devil horn hand on someone's Instagram post or something. They comment on everything. They're just always there. They're always talking, and that's really cool. It's one thing to have someone just click the little button, but commenting takes a second, and so I think even as petty as something like an Instagram comment is, it's still just nice. You see Misery Tomb commented on your post, and you're like, oh, it's those guys. I like those guys. It seems to me that they're actually doing a bunch of above and beyond stuff. Like when I messaged them to ask them about their music, ask them if I could put it on the show. I tell them about the show first, and about my idea and whatnot. They also mentioned to me that they are trying to put together a compilation CD of bands from Edmonton. And like on their Facebook, you can see that it is a compilation CD that they're trying to put together. They want to donate all the proceeds to a local charity. It's going to be put out through a Philadelphia-based record label. And so, I mean, if you're in an Edmonton band and you want to make brutal music for a good cause, get at the boys of Misery Tomb. It's good promotion. It's good intentions, and get at them. And this is the kind of gung-ho stuff I personally really like to see in the scene, because, making some music, if you're in a band, making music is and playing shows is like really the least you can do. Like, just being present is the least you can do. You make friends along the way. You should be going to your buddies' shows, throwing them a couple bucks here and there, like buy a shirt, buy a CD, buy something. These guys, they're trying to reach out. They're trying to put something together. They're trying to put something together. And I think that kind of attitude is really admirable. And the bands that go above and beyond like that should be respected, and that should be like a goal to attain. We're all here in the scene together. We all want things to be good. We all want things to grow, right? Because if the scene prospers, we all prosper, right? But yeah, no, I've pontificated enough. So what we got here for you next is some like really good, really great actually death metal from Regina, Saskatchewan. This is Scythra with Human Cesspool from the album of the same name. When I first reached out to Scythra to ask them, today actually, as of this recording, to play their music on the show, they suggested that I use something from their latest release called Forever Unclean. And the only reason I didn't do that is after listening to it, I was actually so blown away by the entire thing. It says here on their Bandcamp, like, quote-unquote, Forever Unclean is an album made up of one 27-minute piece of music that is meant to be played on a continuous loop. So I listened to it from start to finish, and in my opinion, it is absolutely phenomenal. We are so divorced now from the regular, rock and roll kind of structure, where you get your verse, pre-chorus, chorus. No, this is like a symphony with movements. There's no verses, it's movements. You move from one place to another. It brings you up, it brings you down. There's like a clean singing part in the second song, and that gave me goosebumps. So what I want you to do, you the listener, is take a minute, like while you're thinking about it, pause this recording, pause this podcast, go over to Scythra, SCYTHRA.bandcamp.com. It'll take you right there, right to the page for Forever Unclean, and listen to that in its entirety, and pay attention, because you will not be disappointed. I know I wasn't. Even if you don't loop it and you just listen to it one way through, since it's meant to be looped, the last song kind of ends on what sounds like a cliffhanger. So you know that it's supposed to keep going, because they say it's supposed to keep going, but you can also feel that it is. But it's like one of those scary stories you read, where at the end there's just the hook hanging on the door of the car, and you're like, well, where'd the hook come from? And if you listen to it in one go, you're just wondering where it's supposed to go, like where from there it's supposed to go, and really, like they mentioned, it's just supposed to go around and around and around. And I mean, like, I could listen to it in a few rounds. Like, I have a few hours, I can put that on repeat, no problem. Honestly, this band for me is just one of those really choice, one of those really perfect Metal Archives finds. You go onto Metal Archives, you type in, I don't know, like a region, and just the name Scythra stuck out to me. I don't know why. I clicked on it, I listened to it, I sent them a message, and here we are. And man, is that ever lucky. Alright, and next up for you, from my own hometown, we got some boys I've known for a long, long time. This is some progressive thrash metal, Burning Effigy, Deviant, from their EP Lost Serenity.
Find you.
Burning Effigy's been around since about 2008, and it was through this band, actually, that's how I got into the metal scene. This is my first band. But yeah, I left the band back in, I want to say 2012, and since then they've actually grown a lot in their music. Like back then we were really thrashy, but since then they just got more and more complicated. Their songs took on these complex layers, interesting patterns, and I really liked the direction they've been going for the last few years. They were telling me the last time I spoke with them that they're looking to try and go in another direction yet again, and they showed me this little phone recording they had of a song that they were working on, and I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed what I heard, and so I'm looking forward to new stuff coming out in the near future, I hope. The bassist, Jorge, he also runs a film production company called Great Ape Productions, and they shot a video for this song I just played for you right now, Deviant, and if you look up Burning Effigy Deviant on YouTube, you can watch it. It's really well shot, actually. I like it a lot. They're good angles, the lighting's really good, they got a spooky fog machine going for part of it, so yeah, no, go check that out. And I know he's also looking for more chances to shoot videos too. So he's done some drum covers for guys around town. And if that's something that interests you, if you want a music video done, or if you want to shoot a drum cover or something, I'm sure you can talk to him about it. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. Lately, they've kind of backed away from doing shows, which is understandable with a bit of a lineup change still fresh in their history. But their next show is on the 20th of February. That's their first, their preliminary round in the Vakken Metal Battle, which is going on currently. And I hope they win. Actually, I think they have a good chance of at least advancing to the next round. But they do have really stiff competition in their first round. It's gonna be a rough time for them. But if they can make it, they'll be facing off against Fjallthingor, and I'm not gonna let them go by that easily if they get there. So I like the guys. They're really great guys, and I really want to play a show with them. So hopefully they can make it to their next round, and yeah, good luck to them. Moving forward, one thing I really want to do is I want to bring people on the show, and I want to have some interviews going on, because I want to be able also to showcase the people behind the music in the scene, because everyone has a story before they get to the point of picking up a guitar or picking up a microphone or whatever. And I think that showcasing also the stories of these people, getting them to talk about their lives, is a good way to try and remind people that it's not just an art form. There's also a community of people to talk to, right? A community of people out here. Come out, let's make some friends. Talk to me. Come talk to me. I love talking to people. If you know me in real life, if you want to come to one of the shows that I played, come and talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love to hear from you if you don't know me in real life. I'll attach an email to the show, and so yeah, no, write in, and I'll read your question on the air. I have a couple things right now. I'm toying around with the interviews. I might have one ready for the next episode. Episode 2 should be coming out also in a couple weeks after this recording. So if you like the show, if you like listen to me jabber about music, then yeah, tune in for that. So I'm just going to talk about the next band, the last band of the program, and let them play us out. Hyperia, brand new band, just come out of the scene. I think they've only played a handful of shows. They just released an EP yesterday called Fish Creek Frenzy. They got really good guitar lines, some cool harmonies going on. It's a good party thrash EP, They got this female vocalist. She does this loud, opera-esque kind of clean singing, boomy voice with these growls in between. And I watched a video of her in one of their promos, just kind of jumping back and forth between the high-pitched singing and the growling vocals in the same vocal take. And I don't know if some other vocalists do that, but every time I've ever seen anyone do it, they've kind of split them up. They'll do the singing in one part and then the growl stuff in another, but no, she's just powering right through the take. And I thought that was pretty cool. The band itself is new, the project is new, but I don't think the people in it are new. I know one of the guitarists is actually from Skymere, and they were around the scene like a few years ago a lot, and I remember back in like 2010, 2011, hearing the name Skymere repeated over and over and over. And the guy's a great guitarist, so the composition and the quality of the music is really no surprise if you've ever heard anything about the guy in the past. And no, it's all around. It's just a real fun time. And so to wrap up episode 1, I'll leave you with Hyperia's Evil Insanity from their debut Fish Creek Frenzy EP. You guys have a good one.